Hey everybody, watch this review here with the Marvel Selects Doctor Doom. Not sure what wave he's from, or even if the word wave is eligible for these guys, but for people not familiar with the Marvel Selects line, they're more statuesque than your typical Marvel action figures, such as Legends or Classics, Spider-Man Classics, or so forth. The reason being is because they're not put out by either Toy Biz or Hasbro. Instead, they're put out by a company called Diamond Toy Select, which is an imprint of the much larger Diamond. I forget what I think it's just Diamond Select or Diamond something, but they're a major comic book distributor. As you'll notice, the fact that it's not Hasbro or Toy Biz, especially not Toy Biz, is fairly evident from the packaging, which is a lot better than the normal packaging you'll see with either of those two lines. You'll also notice that it's a lot heavier in accessories. The earlier Marvel Legends were pretty heavy in accessories, but this just goes over and beyond in terms of quality of accessories. I'm going to just quickly open them up and just pause the video for a second. Okay, what you can't tell from the outside is that there's even more art on the inside of the package, which is just kind of crazy. I mean, this is stuff that you really wouldn't be able to see from the outside, so the fact that they leave stuff like this in, speaks volumes about them. I'm all about the companies that go the extra mile and so forth in terms of just quality that people might not ordinarily see, Now, like some Japanese companies, they do use alternate hands instead of, I guess some American companies do it too, instead of using actual hand articulation. By the way, to the best of my knowledge, this is my first Marvel Selects figure, so I'm not really totally sure about the line and the level of quality, but as you'll see here, this is a nice touch. Instead of doing a traditional, I want this thing cut out. Instead of doing a traditional, hard plastic cape, they have a rubbery cape, which means you can pose it a bit more if you like, but it won't stay in place. As you can see, wrists will swivel, but they will not do anything else. Of course, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference because this is a very nice open palm. This is the sort of pose that you'd expect Doctor Doom to take. Just really imperial and regal. I should have tossed his gun into his holster. Actually, let me do that right now. Just let you bask in Doctor Doom's glory for another second. Here's what it looks like in the hand first. Looks like a German Luger, maybe? I don't know what a Luger looks like offhand, but I'm just gonna say it's a German Luger. Somebody will correct me later. They'll be all like, that's not a German Luger, that's such and such. Of course, I won't get that correction for probably a year when some random gun enthusiast stops in my, sees my review. For some reason, despite the fact he's probably not an action figure buff or anything, decides he's gonna watch this review, because my name is Watch This Review, and then comment on the fact that this isn't actually a German Luger, despite him saying it is, but yeah. Ball joint arms. It's a good ball joint. Not like the Marvel Legends Showdown Doctor Doom, which I should also have uploaded today. That's this guy right here. Not a bad looking figure, but has articulation problems. This guy feels a lot better in articulation. You can pull back the cowl, but it won't stay back. It also won't detach, it's all one solid piece. That's one minor criticism, but I guess the fact that you have so much detail here underneath the unit, you can actually detach the whole cape and cowl. By the way, the lower part of the tunic, the skirt portion, yes, I'm calling it a skirt portion, is also the same rubbery plastic. Paint job, incredible. There's lots of layering on this and texturing on the sculpt itself, and the paint goes right in there and reflects that. Single joint elbow, but the way that it's set up, you can't really... It looks like you have the full elbow. Sort of like a split joint, but more visible. Visible pin joint here. You look at a figure of... and you think, oh my god, the quality is great. Then you just see a visible pin joint, and it's like, why did they do that? Pet peeve. But you know, because this is a soft rubbery foam, it looks like the leg will go out further, but it's not a ball joint. I don't like the fact it's not a ball joint, but I guess it's not a huge issue. As you can see, it's just normal. Once again, you can see a knee feature, looks double joint, not double joint, just a single. Exposed pin joint again. Ankle joint here for the foot, which I guess is all you can reasonably expect. All in all, very nice looking figure. Let's look at the throne again. Cool parts behind the throne, they have a picture of his face. I mean, look at that. They even went to the trouble of going out and adding a little face detail instead of just doing a comic or a comic feature like the rest of the thing. Oh no, it's just kind of crazy to go to all these extra little details. Shoot, I don't know how that attaches offhand, but I'll find out in a second. I like the throne. It's cardboard banners, which is the only real downside. I wish they would have used actual cloth or rubber, but I mean, what can you expect? Let's get Dr. Doom onto his throne. No, not talking about the toilet. I know a lot of people call the toilet the throne, but in this instance it's not. Ah, shit. Okay, I guess that kind of works, but that's for more reason they need the soft rubber too. The soft rubber foamy stuff. Just because otherwise you wouldn't be able to sit him down with his cape on, and Dr. Doom without his cape is like, I don't know, Batman without his pointy things. Just don't do it. Let's see. Alright, this thing connects to the two upper portions of this. So when it's actually in place, it'll look like this. That looks tacky. Don't you think that looks tacky? I seriously think that looks tacky. I mean, it looks nice on like a wall behind it, but as part of it, I mean, look at that. That's just lame. When I display him, I'm going to tape it up behind this. I'm not going to do it like they show in the picture. I'm just going to leave this like this. Let's see how he looks just seated without the cape on. Yeah, it's a nicer look, but you have to have the cloak, or actually, it's technically a cloak. I was calling it a cape. Cape's just this portion down here, cowl's up here. Altogether, it would be a cloak. Just a little English lesson, I suppose. I think that's a proper English lesson. I'm not sure. Now, what would an evil tyrannical ruler be without a cup of wine? A goblet of wine, of course, not a cup. This should pull out. I don't want to pull it out. But imagine it was here and, you know, you can't really see it that well, but yeah, from that distance you can't see it at all. Shoot. But just imagine his hand like this. I mean, it is a natural looking fit. He's holding a goblet like how you'd hold a goblet. All in all, very nice figure. Happy I bought him. I was trying to figure out which version of Dr. Doom to get, whether to get which Marvel Legends actually, or one of the Fantastic Four series, but I'm happy I got this version. He's a really, really nice looking figure. I've seen some of the other Marvel Selects, haven't been really gung-ho about them, but this one just really looks nice. And a lot of it's just due to the fact that they opted for this stuff here instead of hard plastic, because it allows the lower part of the tunic to drape like it would if you were just sitting in a throne. no detail on the back of the throne. It's one of the other big areas where they skimped. But you know, everything else just looks so nice about it. And the fact that you have the throne here instead of a little lame tower piece like they had for one of the earlier Marvel Legends. So yeah, I would recommend this figure, obviously, and that's the whole review.